Hey guys, so I've just been driving over the Cat and Fiddle, which for anyone that doesn't know, who's not local to Macclesfield, is the name of the road between Buxton and Macclesfield. So I drive over to drop my boys back with their mum a couple of times a week, and I'm driving back again now. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of snow up here on the top of the Cat and Fiddle. I'm just directly opposite the pub, as you can see. And invariably what happens is there'll be little or no snow in Macclesfield, and there'll be loads up here. For obvious reasons, in that it's a massive, great big hill. So as weather front comes across from the west, hits Macclesfield, hits the Cat and Fiddle, the hill gets pushed up, cools, and snow and rain drops down. And sometimes I've been in Macclesfield and there's been no snow whatsoever, and the Cat and Fiddle is actually closed. It's completely impassable because of the levels of snow. And in general, with the Cat and Fiddle, I've kind of got three options. Either you can get through, you can make it because it's doable, it's challenging, perhaps it's hard to traverse, but you can get there. You can go a different way. You can perhaps go the Whaley Bridge way, or all the way via Stockport, or what have you, because that's a bit easier. And they're your only two real options, or not go all, I suppose. And our mind is kind of like the Cat and Fiddle hill, in that things often like we come up against certain things that cause an almost seemingly automatic reaction. We encounter certain situations, certain people say things to us, stuff's announced on the news, it's a time of day, it's a location, it's something that seems to cause a certain reaction in us. And often we think we've got two options. We think we can just kind of try and avoid it completely, either go the other way or stay at home, the equivalent of, or we can battle through it. We can force ourselves to get through that challenging situation. But actually there is a third way. We can go under it. We can create the equivalent of a tunnel from Macclesfield to Buxton, a tunnel under the Cat and Fiddle. We can choose to reroute our thoughts. We can choose to reframe the way that we see things. We can choose to tell ourselves a different story about the situation in front of us. It doesn't mean pretending it's not happening. It means just choosing to see it a different way. Because invariably it's not the situation, it's not the thing that causes the problems in our head. It's the meaning we attach to that. It's the story we tell around that. And it's not to say that when I say story, that's a wrong story, but it is ultimately just a story. It's our interpretation of the situation, of what's happening. And we know this to be true because we know different people interpret things and see things differently. We know other people in the same situation react in a different way to us, whether that be better or worse or just different. There is the equivalent of a tunnel. There is the equivalent of essentially rerouting our mind when we come up against those challenging situations. But the same as a tunnel requires a lot of effort to build it, to dig it, to drill it in, we have to do the same with our thoughts. We have to train our brain to react and respond differently. We've probably done it a certain way for tens of thousands, millions of times, for year after year after year. Just saying it isn't going to automatically mean that we do it a different way straight away, but we can over time. We can choose next time we get that bad news, next time someone cuts up in traffic, next time there's an announcement about COVID and lockdown, next time something difficult happens at work. We can choose to try and reframe the way we see it. It'll feel forced and almost a little bit fake to start with, but the same as anything, the same as repetitions when we're doing workouts, the same as anything, it's a skill. The more reps we do of it, the better we get and the more natural it becomes. So there is an equivalent, so you don't have to strive and force your way over the Cat and Fiddle when it's snowy and hard to pass. You don't have to stay at home or go a different way. You can do the equivalent of creating a tunnel.